الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. معالي السيد فيل هوغن، المفوض الأوربي للزراعة والتنمية الريفية، سعادة المهندس أحمد بن سليمان الراجحي، رئيس مجلس إدارة غرفة الرياض، سعادة سفير مندوبية الاتحاد الأوروبي، الأخوة والأخوات الحضور الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسرنا أن نرحب بكم في مقر غرفة الرياض لهذا الملتقى. نبدأ هذا الملتقى بكلمة من سعادة رئيس مجلس إدارة غرفة الرياض المهندس أحمد بن سليمان الراجحي، فليتفضل مشكورا.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معالي السيد فيل هوغن، المفوض الأوربي للزراعة والتنمية الريفية، سعادة سفير مندوبية الاتحاد الأوروبي السيد مكاليلي شرفوني، الحضور الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعدني نيابة عن مجلس إدارة الغرفة ومجتمع الأعمال بمنطقة الرياض أن أرحب بكم جميعا في هذا اللقاء الهام مع أصدقائنا الأوروبيين، لنتباحث ونتبادل الرأي حول ما يعمق روابطنا التاريخية الراسخة ومصالحنا التجارية والاستثمارية المشتركة بين بلدانا ودول الاتحاد الأوروبي الصديقة. ولقد سجل حجم التبادل التجاري بين المملكة ودول الاتحاد الأوروبي في عام 2016 نحو 218 مليار ريال، متراجعا قليلا عن عام 2015 الذي حقق فيه حجم التبادل نحو 257 مليار ريال، مما يشير إلى انعكاس حالة الاقتصاد العالمي وتأثيرات أسعار النفط المنخفضة على التبادل التجاري بين الدول. ونتوقع بإذن الله أن يحقق اقتصادنا وروابطنا التجارية مع الدول نقلات مهمة خلال السنوات القادمة التي تقترن مع الخطط التنموية الطموحة والرؤية الاستراتيجية الشاملة حتى تحقيق رؤية المملكة 2030، وبرامج التحول الوطني التي بدأت تنظم وتتدفق مفرداتها في هياكلنا البنيوية والإنتاجية والخدمية، والفلسفة التنموية التي تنعكس وتتنزل بصورة متدرجة ومتعاظمة على قوائم التبادل المنفعي مع دول العالم، وفي مقدمتها أصدقائنا في الاتحاد الأوروبي. وسوف تكون غرفة الرياض دائما في صدارة المؤسسات التي ترفد علاقات المملكة التجارية مع دول العالم بالمعلومات والبيانات والتسهيلات وتبادل الزيارات بين الوفود التجارية والاستثمارية لتحقيق المصالح المشتركة. أكرر الترحيب بالجميع، متمنيا أن نخرج من هذا اللقاء بما يحقق النفع للجميع. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أصحاب السعادة، الأخوة والأخوات الحضور الكرام، أما الآن يسعدني أن أقدم لكم معالي المفوض السيد فيل هوغن. Please. Your Excellency.
President of Riyadh Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Raji, Minister, Ambassador of the EU delegation here in Saudi Arabia, distinguished excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of the entire EU delegation of over 40 business companies from the European Union and myself, I want to thank you, Mr. President, and indeed your government for the kind invitation to visit the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I want to thank you for all of the work that you have done in order to facilitate the visit of our companies here, and we are very much looking forward to the engagement over the next few days. The authorities here, including the Ministry of Agriculture, Foreign Affairs and the Embassy in Brussels, have all played their part in preparing this mission. We have brought together companies in the European Union that are very significant in a very diversified number of policy and trading areas. So we like to think that these European companies are the privileged people in coming to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I want to publicly thank you, Your Excellency, for and all of your team in the Riyadh Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Chamber of the Council of Saudi Chambers for hosting this event and for the excellent cooperation in organising the forum. And I think our companies already see that they are already set up for the business-to-business meetings here in this auditorium. We are here because we firmly believe that by strengthening our cooperation on trade and business ties, that we can deliver great benefits for both parties. And already in our discussions this morning with you, Mr. Chairman, and your team and the Minister, that we are looking at a new form of cooperation in agriculture between the European Union and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The selected sector leaders here from the European Union offer a broad range of quality products, and Europe, we believe, is very high in quality. We believe we are the first to address on quality. And we are capable of ensuring a sustained presence on the Saudi market, especially in poultry and beef meat, in dairy, in fresh and frozen fruits and vegetables, in olive oil, bakery, confectionery and chocolate products, cereals for human use, as well as fodder and cereals for animal use. The Gulf Cooperation Council countries in general and Saudi Arabia in particular are very important partners and markets for EU foodstuffs. Our European Union agri-food exports to Saudi Arabia have increased from €1.5 billion to €4.6 billion in the last 7 years. So this is a very positive trend that we can build upon. Of course, Saudi Arabia is a growing and dynamic country with more than 32 million inhabitants, many of them young, urban. So we believe that this is a growing generation of consumers that will be happy to choose our high-quality EU food and agricultural products. We know that Saudi customers are very well informed, and indeed, I know you are sure, very demanding. And the business delegation will highlight the traceability systems that we have in relation to food safety, in relation to healthy food, and provide both recognised quality for consumers and reliable raw materials for the rapidly growing domestic food processing sector. High quality and responsible and sustainable food production is very important to the EU, and I know it's very important for Saudi Arabia. So we should work together to ensure that we continue in this direction through technological transfer, knowledge sharing, and investments in a partnership basis between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the European Union. From farm to fork, and at each stage of the food production chain, the European Union sets a series of rules to ensure that our 500 million citizens, which is a very large market, enjoy the safest food in the world. We apply one of the highest quality and production standards in the world. We have rigorous plant health, animal health and welfare control, and we have detailed labelling and a traceability procedure from farm to fork. So we believe that your consumers can be assured of the traceability systems that we have in the European Union, that what they get is what they receive and what they're told they were going to get that they do receive. The European Union safeguards health along the entire agri-food chain, covering every part of the food production process from primary production to consumption. And we achieve this by ensuring that food and animal feed are safe and nutritious, by preventing food contamination, by ensuring a high level of animal health, animal welfare and plant protection, by promoting food safety at all stages of the production chain, and by ensuring adequate and transparent information about the origin, the content, the labelling and the use of the food. So as you can see, we are proud of our food and proud of the way that we produce our food along the food chain. As a result of these standards, Europe, as I said earlier, is a good address for food in the world. But we are open to sharing our experiences with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and therefore I think that establishing a political dialogue between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the European Union would be a good direction to take. We have already cooperated with you in the area of food safety, and most recently there was a successful food safety seminar in Riyadh in September, which follows on from previous events such as a seminar on sanitary and phytosanitary issues in 2014. We participated in the Dubai Food Safety Conference in 2015, and there have been several study visits from the Saudi Food and Drug Administration to the European Commission. Nevertheless, our European Union producers still hope to learn more about the standards that require to be implemented in Saudi Arabia and in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries in order to get to know the market better and adjust our offer. As you will see, there is a strong interest in doing business in Saudi Arabia, and we can learn a lot from each other. So let me conclude again by thanking you again, Mr. Chairman, and your team for the very warm welcome we have received here this morning, and I look forward to a very successful visit, but also successful seminar and events that will deepen the knowledge of our business partners in Saudi Arabia and the European Union, and perhaps we will, through our business-to-business meetings, to be able to develop the partnerships and the joint ventures that are necessary for both sides to be successful companies in agriculture and food. Thank you very much.
شكرا معالي المفوض. أما الآن نطلب من الأخوة والأخوات الحضور الكرام البقاء في مقاعدهم، لأن هناك عرض من الهيئة العامة للاستثمار سيقدمه سعادة الأستاذ عماد العبد القادر مدير عام جذب الاستثمار. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask you to remain unseated until His Excellency departs the hall. Thank you so much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very delighted to be here with you, and thank you for coming all the way from the different countries that you came from. You're coming to Saudi Arabia at a very interesting time. Saudi Arabia is changing like no other time in the past. And I'm happy that I have this opportunity to be one of the first speakers today. And before you meet the specialists in agriculture and in other sectors that you are interested in, because I would like to use this opportunity to give you a high-level understanding of the changes in Saudi Arabia. But before I do that, can I have a check? Does everybody hear me in the back? Do you hear me? Yeah? Good. So my name is Imad Al-Abd Al-Qadir, and I come from the Saudi Arabian General Investment Authority. And as I said, this visit here today that brings the business communities together comes at a time where Saudi Arabia is changing like no other time in the past. Saudi Arabia has gone through a tremendous change in its history up to this point.
Let's continue.
Okay? Sure. Saudi Arabia has gone through a tremendous change in its in the past. So, if you see that Today's GDP in Saudi Arabia is approximately 690 billion US dollars. It is amazing to think that in my lifetime, the change that happened is so unimaginable. The year that I was born, the GDP of Saudi Arabia was 6 billion US dollars. And the population was 5 million people. This is a huge change in one generation. Today, Saudi Arabia enjoys a prominent position amongst the world's economy. And a lot of that is due to oil. And we are blessed with the natural resources. And that oil has allowed us to invest in healthcare, welfare, infrastructure, education, to help develop the Saudi economy to be where it is today amongst world countries. But Saudi Arabia has a lot more than oil. It is not only oil that we have. We have a lot of other natural resources, but beyond natural resources, we have a very well-educated, large population, relatively speaking, with significant purchase power. The largest population with a large significant purchase power in the region. We have a position that has been, throughout the centuries and millenniums, has been a crossroad of trade between Europe, Africa, and Asia. We have a very unique position in the world, being the place of birth of Islam and the site where the holy sites for Muslims is. These are unique advantages. And Saudi Arabia has decided to take advantage of this, to also develop all of its other resources and unique advantages, just like oil was. I believe that our mining resources can be just as important as our oil resources, that the privatization of services is going to be as big an opportunity as oil and gas. Huge opportunities. But this change is happening at a time when the whole world is changing. This change is happening when technology is changing everything. Big data, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, bioengineering, genetic engineering, 3D printing, and the list goes on and on and on. And the fundamentals of business, the fundamentals of industry, the fundamentals of everything are being challenged. And new ways are coming up. And we realize that the whole world is changing, and we are changing with it, or hopefully being part of the leadership of that change. And to help us do that, we have, for the first time, a vision that really changes not only goals and objectives, but it changes the mindset. It's a deep fundamental change of how we think, a deep fundamental change of how the government operates, and how it sees its relationship with the private sector, both local and foreign. That is why you are coming at a time where it is very important, I think, for you to understand what it is that's happening in Saudi Arabia and how these changes can translate into opportunities for you. Saudi Arabia is at the heart of the Arab and Muslim world. It is an investment powerhouse. It is a hub connecting three continents. And we are working together to allow Saudi Arabia to take advantage of these three unique attributes. We've set very clear goals. We've set very clear objectives. And just to give an example, because I don't have time to go through the whole vision and how that is changing everything, just to give one example of one of many hundreds of goals and how these goals can translate into opportunities, I would like to look at this one with you. Saudi Arabia has 8 million visitors coming from outside of its borders for religious reasons every year. And in the past, we've seen these visits as a duty, a responsibility, an honor for Saudi Arabia to take care of these people who come from all around the world. Well, today we still see it as a duty, an honor, and a responsibility, but we see it also as an opportunity. We have been in the past limiting the numbers deliberately because we want to make sure that we provide the quality of service that is needed. Well, today we see a room for us to increase the numbers, allow more people who want to come, and provide even better services because we see it as an opportunity. We want to increase the number from 8 million today to 15 million in 2020, and then 30 million in 2030. Please imagine with me, what does that mean? 30 million is the same number almost of people that visit London and Paris combined every year. If your city decided to increase the number of visitors, or your country decided to multiply by 3 the number of visitors that come to it, what would it need to do? What kind of marketing campaigns? Saudi Arabia only needs to allow it. We have a unique position. And by allowing it, and by allowing the private sector to invest in providing everything that is needed, we are creating opportunities that are unprecedented. Imagine what these 30 million people will need in terms of transportation, in terms of housing and hospitality, healthcare, security, communication requirements, IT requirements. Imagine the purchase power that they will bring with them. Imagine the opportunity to allow them to see other parts of the country in terms of tourism that this rich historical land has to offer. Saudi Arabia is changing its mindset, is seeing things differently. I don't have a lot of time, and before my colleagues at the chamber usher me off the podium, I'd like to go very quickly through some of the objectives just for you to imagine the other opportunities that are being created. As I said, the change that has happened in Saudi Arabia is truly impressive. Again, when I was born, the life expectancy of people born in that year was 54 years. Today, it is 74, and we want it to be 80. Let's imagine all of the opportunities that will be created in healthcare, in healthy lifestyles, in everything related to the subject of that objective. It is hundreds of objectives. These are only examples and samples of it. And we know for us to do that, we need the country to operate more efficiently, the government to be more effective, bureaucracy to be contained. And we are doing a lot of process engineering, a lot of e-government activity to remove as much bureaucracy as possible, to simplify, to unify the steps that you need to do. Instead of having to deal with so many government agencies, we want you to deal with one portal or as few places that you need to deal with, and we want you to do as much of it online as possible. And huge steps are being taken in that direction. The vision is not only economical. The vision is social. The vision is aiming at the individual, at society, at the economy, and at its strategic partnerships. I still have a lot of time, Hamid. Please have a seat. So to achieve the vision and to achieve the different aspects of that vision, the government needs to change the way it used to work. Instead of us working in silos, different ministries, every ministry working on its own, we have abolished these silos. And ministries and government agencies work together in a way that was unimaginable, unthinkable, even 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And we've created these programs which create a framework that allows everybody concerned to come together to create the synergies required to make these objectives possible. So, although this audience is probably not interested in privatization, privatization of the government services is going to create an opportunity that is as big, as important as oil was. Oil in Saudi Arabia was created by a public-private partnership with foreign direct investments and local investments. And an oil giant was created. This was in 1938. And then in the 70s, another opportunity for public-private partnerships, foreign direct investment and local investment, created another international giant, which is SABIC and the petrochemical industry. Well, today, in the year 2017 onward, we will see another opportunity for public-private partnership, foreign direct investment, local investment, to create yet other giants in mining, in privatization, in energy, renewable energies included, in transportation, being a logistics hub, and in many other opportunities. We have very clear, very solid goals that will create very clear, very tangible opportunities for the private sector. And it is the private sector, the local private sector as well as the foreign private sector that is invited to understand the depth of this change and understand what kind of opportunity they can create. Now, I'm here with my colleague Saleh. Can you please make yourself seen? We hope throughout the day to interact with you and understand what it is that is on your mind, what concerns you, what questions you have that we can answer. Although we will not be the right people to talk about the specifics of the sector, but we can talk about the macroeconomy, the business environment, and so on. Because what we do as an organization is we work on improving the business environment, a platform. We also work with investors to understand the investment opportunities, and but most of all, we want to help them succeed. So, to achieve the vision of Saudi Arabia, we understand that there are a lot of things that need to be improved, as I said, in terms of red tape, bureaucracy, enhancing the business environment in general. And there are some huge steps that have already been taken, and even bigger steps that will see the light soon. Improvements in the judicial system, specialized, dedicated commercial courts that have a mandate to see cases within 21 days and the judge is required to rule on the case within 3 sessions is a huge step from the long, painful process of getting a court appointment in the past. Improvements in everything that is related to business, but most of all the transparency of laws, and now government organizations are required to put for public consultation on their websites any projects of laws before they are issued, so that the concerned people can have an opportunity to see it, prepare for it, but most importantly challenge it and try to convince the decision makers of a different point of view if necessary. I don't have a lot of time, and Muhammad is going to shoo me off the stage very soon, but I would like to stop right here and just reiterate my invitation to you to connect with me and Sarah for any questions that you have, either about the process of investing in Saudi Arabia, whether it's as a 100% foreign company or in partnership with other organizations, or whether it's questions that you have in general. We want to see you succeed in Saudi Arabia. I personally fully believe that the flow of trade and investment in both directions is in the benefit of all, and we want to see you succeed, even if you simply want to export at this stage. And we know that eventually, hopefully, this will lead to positive effects for both economies. I thank you again for your patience with me, and I hope to connect with you in the break. Thank you.
السلام عليكم أصحاب السعادة الحضور. الهيئة السعودية للمواصفات والمقاييس والجودة ممثلة في معالي محافظ الهيئة الدكتور سعد بن عثمان القصبي، وفي نائبيه المهندس سعود بن راشد العسكر والمهندس عبد الله القحطاني، ترحب بالوفد الأوربي أو المفوض الأوربي، ونتمنى أن احنا في هذا البرزنتيشن نعرض الخدمات اللي تقدمها الهيئة، واللي نعتقد إن شاء الله أن من خلالها راح يستفيد الإخوان المشاركين. طبعا المحتويات العرض راح نتطرق القانون الهيئة العام، مسؤولية الهيئة، الخدمات التي تقدمها الهيئة فيما يتعلق بالنشاط الغذائي والزراعي. طبعا قنوات التواصل اللي من خلالها الكاستمر أو الكلاينت يقدر أنه يختار الخدمة ويسجل من خلالها، أو توفر له الهيئة الدعم المطلوب. طبعا قانون الهيئة العام انشئت الهيئة السعودية للمواصفات والمقاييس والجودة بمقتضى المرسوم الملكي برقم 10 وتاريخ 3/3/1392 هجري كهيئة ذات شخصية اعتبارية وميزانية مستقلة. ويقوم برسم السياسة العامة لها مجلس إدارة يترأسه معالي وزير التجارة والصناعة، ويضم ممثلين للأطراف الرئيسية المعنية بالتقييس في المملكة. وتعمل الهيئة لتحقيق الغايات الاستراتيجية التالية: سلامة المستهلك من خلال إعداد وتبني المواصفات القياسية المناسبة للسلع والخدمات، بالإضافة إلى اللوائح الفنية للمنتجات، المساهمة في تنمية الاقتصاد الوطني من خلال تطبيق المواصفات القياسية السعودية واللوائح الفنية السعودية المناسبة على السلع والمنتجات، وتقديم الخدمات لتحسين القدرة التنافسية للمنتجات الوطنية، ضبط أدوات عمليات القياس والمعايرة المترولوجيا في المملكة لتتزامن مع القياس المقاييس والمعايير الدولية، كيف يمكن للمصانع وشركات الأغذية والزراعة الاستفادة من خدمات الهيئة عن طريق المواصفات، القياس والمعايرة والمترولوجيا، الجودة، المطابقة، منح الشهادات، المختبرات. طبعا الخدمات منح الشهادات والمختبرات هي تندرج تحت الكونفورميتي اسسمنت. طبعا المواصفات، المهام الرئيسية: إصدار واعتماد المواصفات القياسية السعودية من خلال الفرق الفنية، التصنيف الدولي للمواصفات، المواصفات القياسية السعودية المعتمدة حديثا، والأبحاث. وتقوم الهيئة بإصدار المواصفات القياسية السعودية في المجالات التالية: التشييد ومواد البناء، المنتجات الكيميائية والبترولية، منتجات الكهربائية والإلكترونية، المنتجات الميكانيكية والمعدنية، منتجات الغزل والنسيج، المقاييس والموازين، ضبط الجودة والمطابقة، المعلومات والتوثيق. المترولوجيا مختبرات المركز الوطني للقياس والمعايرة هي المختبرات الوحيدة في المملكة الحكومية تقدم خدمات القياس والمعايرة داخل المملكة. طبعا عبارة عن 3 أقسام. القسم الأول المعايرة الفيزيائية، هناك مختبر الأبعاد، مختبر الحجم والكثافة، مختبر القياسات الحرارية. القسم الثاني المعايرة الميكانيكية، وتقدم الخدمات من خلال مختبر الكتلة، مختبر الضغط، مختبر القوة. القسم الثالث الأخير قسم المعايرة الكهربائية، مختبر التردد والوقت، مختبر الجهد والتيار المستمر، مختبر الجهد والتيار المتردد، مختبر المكثفات، مختبر المقاومات. الكواليتي تندرج تحت مهام الإدارة العامة للجودة 3 إدارات هي: أولا قبول وتعيين جهات تقويم المطابقة، يتم تقديم الخدمات من خلال إدارة قبول جهات وتقويم المطابقة عن طريق قبول وتعيين جهات منح الشهادات على المنتج المصدر للمملكة العربية السعودية أو المصدر للسوق السعودي. الإدارة الثانية إدارة دعم المنشآت الصغيرة والمتوسطة، وأهداف الإدارة زيادة القدرة التنافسية للمنتجات الوطنية في الأسواق المحلية، التوعية بأهمية تطبيق المواصفات القياسية السعودية واللوائح الفنية، تقديم الاستشارات الفنية للمنشآت الصناعية لإجراء تقويم المطابقة، التوعية بأهمية تطبيق نظم الإدارة في المنشآت الصناعية، تدريب منسوب المنشآت الصناعية الوطنية في المجالات المتعلقة بالجودة والتقييس. طبعا الإدارتين اللي ذكرناهم هي ممكن أنها تخدم في أي مجال صناعي، سواء غذائي، سواء الصناعات الاستهلاكية. القسم الثالث إدارة مركز الخدمات الاستشارية والفنية. طبعا أهداف الإدارة تقديم المحاضرات والدورات التدريبية للجهات الراغبة بالحصول على استشارات في نظم الإدارة، تمثيل الهيئة في عدد من اللجان والاجتماعات ذات العلاقة، التأهيل على أنظمة الإدارة وفق الفترة المحددة للمشروع. السيرتيفيكيشن المهام الرئيسية. طبعا بما أننا نتكلم في المجال الزراعة فممكن أن الكلاينت يستفيد من خلال علامة الجودة، الحصول على علامة الجودة هذه تأهله في التصدير للمملكة أو التصدير من المملكة للبلدان اللي فيه اتفاقيات مع الهيئة السعودية للمواصفات المقاييس في ما يتعلق بعلامة الجودة أو المنتجات اللي تحمل علامة الجودة، بالإضافة إلى شهادات المطابقة. من خلال الإدارة تستطيع المنتج أو المورد أن يطرح المنتج في السوق السعودي إذا كان حاصل على شهادة مطابقة من الهيئة السعودية للمواصفات المقاييس. طبعا فيما يتعلق منتجات الكهربائية بطاقة كفاءة الطاقة، وتمنح الاقتصاد الوقود ومقاومة الدوران والتماسك والاقتصاد برضو في الوقود. طبعا هذا فلو تشارت للإدارة العامة لمنح الشهادات، وللصورة لللوجو اللي تمنح الهيئة للمنتجات. نجي الإدارة القادمة أو الخدمة القادمة اللي هي الكونفورميتي أسسمنت، وتعني الإدارة العامة المطابقة بإعداد مشاريع اللوائح الفنية للمنتجات Technical Regulation for Product الاستهلاكية، ومتابعة التطبيق ورصد الحوادث لتحديد مدى الحاجة لإعداد لوائح فنية لمنتجات معينة أو تحديثها أو سحبها، وذلك من خلال مسح الأسواق Marketing Surveillance، واختبار العينات بالإضافة إلى الاشتراك مع لجان ضبط الغش التجاري بالتنسيق مع وزارة التجارة والصناعة وتقديم الخدمات للجهات الحكومية عند طلبها بشأن التحقق من مطابقة العينات المحالة منها. والمهام الرئيسية هذه الإدارة اللوائح الفنية، إعداد اللوائح الفنية Preparation the Technical Regulation for Product Sector، ومتابعة التطبيق ورصد الحوادث. بالإضافة إلى إعداد اللوائح السعودية، برضو الهيئة تشارك بارتنر مع الهيئة الخليجية GSO في إعداد اللوائح بشكل على شكل إقليمي. بالإضافة إلى هيئة الغذاء والدواء، برضو الهيئة تشارك معها في إعداد اللوائح الخاصة بالحلال برودكت. المختبرات لابوراتوريز، طبعا المختبرات تقدم خدماتها من خلال مختبر المنتجات الكهربائية والإلكترونية، مختبر المنتجات الكيميائية والبترولية، وهذا أتوقع أنها هي الخدمات المقدمة من خلال هذا المختبر أنها تهم الحضور، بما أن احنا نتكلم في مجال التغذية والزراعة. مختبر المنتجات الميكانيكية، مختبر منتجات التشييد ومواد البناء، مختبر منتجات التكستايل الغزل والنسيج، مختبر المواد العامة. طبعا احنا ما تكلمنا عن المختبرات الثانية، احنا ركزنا على مختبر المنتجات الكيميائية والبترولية، ممكن هو يعتبر الهام بالنسبة للحضور. أولا وحدة الكيمياء العضوية، تقوم الوحدة بفحص وتحليل المركبات العضوية في مواد عديدة مثل مواد التجميل، ملطفات الجو، المواد الغذائية، المركبات العضوية. أهم الاختبارات التي يتم إجراؤها في الوحدة: الكشف وتقدير نسبة المواد العضوية، تقدير نسبة الأحماض الدهنية، تقدير نسبة الكحوليات. وحدة القياسات الإشعاعية، تقوم الوحدة بالكشف عن النظائر المشعة وتقدير نشاطها في المنتجات التالية: المياه، المواد الغذائية، مواد البناء. وحدة الكيمياء غير العضوية، تقوم الوحدة بالتحليل وتقدير العناصر في المواد التالية: مياه الشرب، مياه الشرب الغير معبأة، المنتجات الغذائية، المحاليل المائية، الأسمدة. أهم الاختبارات التي يتم إجراؤها في هذه الوحدة: تقدير العناصر الثقيلة، تقدير العناصر المعدنية، تقدير الخصائص الكيميائية والفيزيائية، الاختبارات الكلاسيكية. وحدة الاختبارات الغذائية، يقوم المختبر بفحص وتحليل عينات مختلفة من المنتجات الغذائية، وذلك من الناحية الكيميائية والفيزيائية والميكروبيولوجية. الاختبارات الكيميائية اللي تقدمها الوحدة: تقدير العناصر المعدنية والسامة، تقدير السكريات، الكشف عن المواد المضافة للأغذية، تقدير الدهون، تقدير البروتين، الكشف عن الألوان الاصطناعية، الكشف عن المضادات الحيوية في اللحوم والدواجن. الاختبارات الميكروبيولوجية: الأحياء الدقيقة هي تلك التي يمكن رؤيتها بالعين المجردة، ويلزم لذلك استخدام المجهر، ومنها البكتيريا، الفطريات، الفيروسات، الطفيليات. وتظهر أهم الأحياء الدقيقة المرتبطة بالأغذية في فحص عينات الأغذية ومنتجاتها للتأكد من صلاحيتها للاستهلاك الآدمي، وكذلك مطابقتها للمواصفات المعتمدة. إجراء المسحات التورية على أنواع معينة من الأغذية للتأكد من مطابقتها للمواصفات. طبعا يصير العمل هذا بالتنسيق مع هيئة الغذاء والدواء في الماركتينج سيرفلنس. إجراء بحوث ودراسات على فترات الصلاحية لبعض المنتجات الغذائية. أهم الاختبارات التي يقوم بها المختبر: العدد الكلي للبكتيريا، عدد الخمائر والأعفان، عدد مجموعة بكتيريا الكليفور، عدد بكتيريا إيشريشيا كولاي، عدد بكتيريا ستافلوكس، الكشف عن بكتيريا السلمونيا طبعا في الدجاج والبيض، الكشف عن بكتيريا سيدموناس. طبعا قنوات التواصل channel of ساسو كونتاكت، من خلال الرابط يستطيع الكلاينت او العملاء انهم يحدد الخدمه المطلوبه، وانه طبعا يتم الحصول على الخدمه وتقديمها من خلال الهيئه. طبعا في الرابط طبعا نعتذر ما فيها انترنت في الجهاز، ولا كان احنا فتحنا الرابط وشرحنا لهم. طبعا في خدمة المعرفات اللي المهتم في عضوية المركز المعلومات، شراء المواصفات، فحص السيارات، طلب الحصول على علامة الجودة، طلب تسجيل اعتماد مختبرات، الاستفسار والاخطار في الTBT، التوظيف، المناقصات، قياس رضا المستفيدين. جميع الخدمات تقدم اونلاين عن طريق ساسو ويب سايت. بالإضافة إلى مركز الاتصال أو بيانات الاتصال والموقع الخاص في الهيئة. السلام عليكم. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, what an honor for me to be here in the Riyadh Chamber of Commerce today and to be invited to talk to you. Give me a second. That's not the right one. To talk to you about the most healthy and most nutritious food there is on the planet, milk and dairy. Milk and dairy products are a vital source of nutrition. It's not the European Dairy Association, which I have the pleasure and honor to head, but it is the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization that makes that statement. And Saudi Arabia is part of our dairy world. With 2 million tons of annual milk production per year, in Saudi Arabia, we are in the dairy country number 59 in the world, with an excellent milk yield per cow of 10 tons per year. Europe has a rich tradition in dairy, and today we produce about 116 million tons of first quality raw milk in Europe. This is about 25% of the global annual milk production, which stems from Europe. Even if the national Saudi Arabian milk production is somewhat smaller, with 2 million tons, your national growth rate in milk production is impressive at 4% per year, and your annual increase in milk consumption in Saudi Arabia equals about the increase of the population that we've seen, about 2.53%. Still, today in Saudi Arabia, you import 50% of your dairy needs, and your milk consumption level of about 135 kilogram per year is below the international dietary recommendations, which are about at 200 kilogram per year per person. Europe, at least large parts of Europe, are simply made for making milk and have ideal conditions for milk production. Our 160 million tons of first quality raw milk come from about 750,000 committed and well-trained dairy farmers. They are processed in 12,000 processing sites across the Union, and our dairy excellence is underlined by the fact that 5 out of the top 10 dairies globally are headquartered in Europe. And we, as a European dairy industry, we are the guardian of a cultural heritage and a culinary treasure. More than 300 dairy denomination, cheese and butter, are protected and are bearing the EU quality logo for geographical indications like Grana Padana cheese, Camembert de Normandie, or the famous butter, beurre de Sainte-Mère, Isigny-Sainte-Mère. But even in Europe, we don't meet, in some parts, the international dietary recommendations for milk consumption, but we are seen as a mature market. Over the past 4 years, 7 billion euros have been invested across the European Union in dairy processing sites. And a good part of this money comes from outside the Union. What does this tell us? Europe is home to dairy future. The dairy delegation here in that room is an impressive who is who of the European dairy landscape and mirrors our tradition, our quality, and our innovation strengths. You have dairy leaders here in the room from Spain, France, Austria, Greece, Ireland, and Poland. And some of those brands are very familiar here in Saudi Arabia, since the European dairy did build up a joint dairy tradition between Europe and Saudi Arabia over the past decades, with quite some dairy investments in Saudi Arabia. When enjoying European dairy products, you enjoy the European tradition, our quality, and our innovation. The dairy products you import from Europe have an overall value of about 1 billion euros per annum, and they reflect your search for products with tradition, quality, and innovation. Milk powders, butter, as well as fresh dairy products, cheese, and infant formula. And infant formula is a real flagship product of EU dairy innovation, and it on its own stands for about 500 million euros of your dairy imports. The European dairy companies present here on the market and present here in the room will be more than happy to strengthen our joint EU-Saudi Arabia dairy tradition. And with that, I would like, if I have the time, to show you a 4-minute film which promotes, it's true, it's focused on France, but our colleagues from, no, we don't have the time, not a problem. So, enjoy tradition, quality, and innovation, enjoy the European dairy. Thank you. Shukran.
Good morning, everyone. After the dairy product, let me introduce the European fruit and vegetable sector. It's my pleasure to be here this morning at the Chamber of Commerce to exchange and to highlight the relationship that are already existing between the European fruit and vegetable sector and the Saudi business partner. As a short overview of the business of fruit and vegetable in Europe, we could see that it's at the same time a local business but also a global business. The production of fruit and vegetable for the fresh market in Europe is about 75 million tons. About 30 million tons, so almost half of it, move among the different European countries. And we have also a significant import of 13 million tons, which are product coming in the off-season mainly, or exotic product, and then we export also 5 million tons to international market. One of the challenge that we still have, and we are all working together on this, is to increase the consumption. You see the little graph below which represent the different member states of the European Union, and the red line, which is the recommendation of the World Health Organization to consume at least 400 grams of fruit and vegetables, and we are still below, but we have seen in the last few years that there is a nice development and nice trends to increase the consumption. Altogether, the business in Europe is about 200 billion euro and represent also a huge workforce, because we represent roughly 5 million direct and indirect jobs which are involved in the fruit and vegetable sector. The diversity of the production in Europe is huge. As you see, we produce fruit and vegetable all around Europe. We have obviously a number of leaders. Spain is the bigger production country for fresh produce, followed by Italy with 14 million tons, France with 6.7, together with Poland 6.9. And I think this diversity of climatic condition also allow a wide diversity of produce assortment, which are supported by the expertise of the grower, the structure of grower, which has been introduced in Europe with the Corporation of Producers and Association of Producer Organization, and also the skills of the traders, which have an important role to maintain the quality and to improve the logistics of the product. So it's a sector which is on the move, permanently looking for new variety, new taste, new texture, to gain the confidence of the customer and the consumer. We are building the strengths of the sector based on a number of pillars. Some of them has been mentioned already this morning by the Commissioner, and I would like briefly to highlight some of the specificity of our sector in terms of safety and quality. We have a sector which is driven by principle of IPM, which is integrated pest management and high quality farming. We have also a business which is strongly regulated and strongly controlled by the most sophisticated legislation in terms of plant health, in terms of pesticide legislation and residue limits, in terms of marketing standard. And it is also maybe more because it's a generic product, not as much as the dairy sector, but it's also value with the system of the PGI, the geographical indication for some of the product. We have a system of control which is a multi-layer control based on the business operator control and auto control in the different level of the chain. We have a number of audits, both public and private in the sector. We have private third-party certification for good agricultural practice, good distribution practice, good hygiene practice. And all of this is also fostered by the General Food Law, with principle of traceability from farm to fork, and also all the legislation is also strongly science-based with a number of risk assessment and risk management decisions which give confidence to both the business and the consumer. We are also building on the sustainability, which is not anymore a buzzword for the business. It's also something which is becoming a reality, to take into account social concern, both on environmental level but also on social level, on the greening of the European agriculture policy. And also we try to build a future based on the excellent footprint, being water, on carbon footprint that we have in our sector. And more recently there is also a lot of improvement in regard to food loss, to reduce food loss, to educate consumer to reduce the food waste, and have a system of hierarchical prevention of food waste. We dedicate also a lot of time in the sector to research and innovation. It is not only on agriculture practice, but it's also in adapting the variety for a better use of the resource, for improving shelf life, improving the logistic, to reduce the pesticide dependency, to secure the consumer taste and nutritional benefit of the sector. And health is also a very important element, not only because of the recommendation of the World Health Organization, but also to make sure that our products are available, are accessible to the consumer, to make sure that it's not only an awareness that it's good to consume fruit and vegetables, but also that it is converted into an effective consumption attitude. Promotion is important. Some of our members are also involved into a promotion program supported by the European Union under the flagship Enjoy It from Europe. There are a number of programs from France, from Italy, from Greece and Austria which are targeting the region, and some of the action are effectively coming in this country. Fruit and vegetable export from Europe are mainly driven by apple. It's roughly 50 apple and pears, which is roughly 50% of our export, followed by oranges, plums, kiwi, grapes, melons. It's show you the wide diversity of products, including also the berries and the persimmons, which are two growing products, and also a wide diversity of vegetables, such as onion, tomato, peppers. If we look now the business with Saudi Arabia, I think it's quite a significant development that we have seen in the past few years, moving from roughly 50,000 tons in 2010 to reach today close to 150,000 tons, which is worth 160 million euro. We represent 7% of the import market here in Saudi Arabia. It's also ranking, Saudi Arabia is ranking 9 as a single destination to the world market, just behind the United Arab Emirates. And maybe some of the products which go to the Arab Emirates are also landing finally on the Saudi market. Altogether, you see 165 million euro of business today for the export, led by Italy with 71 million, and by Spain close to 50 million euro. In terms of export by product, I think these are what we do already today. And I think it's quite interesting to identify that for Apple, for instance, we are the market leader. Saudi Arabia is importing 180,000 tons. We represent 85,000 tons, with Italy being the #1 supplier with 56,000 tons, France being #3 with 22,000 tons. Also, if we look at kiwi fruit, we are #1 with the supply from Italy with 7.5, and also Greece with 2 million tons. And for pears, Spain is the #1 supplier. So we are not afraid to take a leadership position on the market, but the large fruit range that we have indicate that there are also some possibility to grow the current export from the different member states of the European Union. So a few words of conclusion as a way forward. We have seen that we have experienced a growth, but this growth also indicate that there will be further opportunity that we need to explore, not only to consolidate what we currently do, but also to continue diversifying for the mutual benefit of both partners. We have to look at logistics. Logistics is an important part of the business for perishable product. Sea freight is operating relatively satisfactorily so far, but there are certainly more growth that will be possible by developing air freight opportunities, by maintaining the high quality of the product through an efficient cold chain to make sure that the product reaches the consumer with the high added value of the product. We need to look at how to diversify, educate maybe consumer to new taste and texture from products which are coming from the high quality product range of the European Union. And I think stimulating consumption is a challenge that we have in Europe, but it's also a challenge that should be here also in Saudi Arabia, to secure that we have an healthy diet for the consumer. And all of that could certainly be helped also by the potential action that could be undertaken under the Enjoy It's from Europe action. So I will finish here my presentation, and I'm available later during the discussion for further specificity about the fruit and vegetable sector. Well, just like to mention that we have in the middle of the room at least two of our experts from the fruit and vegetable business sector. I'm representing the European Fruit and Vegetable Association, and I could also provide you more contact in the wide list of membership that we have across Europe. So at this point, thank you very much.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stig Munk Larsen. I'm from the Danish Agriculture and Food Council in Copenhagen. I'm here representing AVEC, the Association of European Poultry Producers and Poultry Trade. I was supposed to give a presentation of the EU poultry sector and export to Saudi Arabia, but I'm not going to do that, for the reason that you probably also heard last night that the program is actually changing every hour, and I was just informed by the Commission that the Saudi counterparts are already in the hall waiting for business meetings. So I think it's actually better that we cut off my presentation and go up there to have business meetings in the interest of everybody, instead of giving my presentation to the EU delegation, who is apparently more or less the only one in the room right now. So if you have any questions later on, you can easily speak with me and ask whatever you want. So with these words, I think we should cut off now and go out in the hall and have business meetings.